If you're in search of unique art to turn your home into a showplace, head to Pontiac. The city's popular art crawl is back on the schedule, and shops and artists are already gearing up for the big event. So you want to add it to your calendar. And including some of those artists and those shop owners, April Ogg. She's with the Saginaw Street Consignments. Good morning, Miss April. How are you?
Good morning. I'm bright and wide awake for the show. For having me.
Hey, April, it's always fun having you because when we talk about art, I think about your shop. You have so many unique pieces, and I think for so many of us stuck in our homes through the pandemic, we want our homes to be comfortable, but we don't want them to be cookie cutter. So what is art?
Well, art comes in many forms, and as you see, I have a little bit behind me more sculptural. We have some beautiful statues, glass is art, and I also have this beautiful wall piece that's a floral metal sculpture on the wall that could also be hung from the ceiling.
Wow, I'm looking at that. That is really cool. Like if you put that in your house, it's a talker, right?
Yeah, it's actually on I have it mounted kind of on an angle, but it's 4 feet by 6 feet scale wise. So it might look small there, but it takes up a nice large space. So it could be a very attractive and transform a room. And that's what art can do for you as well.
So April, I was watching that, what is it, Antiques on the Road show? I forget the name of it. It's on PBS or something. And I'm looking, and every time I go into your store, I'm like, ooh, is this something I can get for $10 and it's really worth like $5 million?
Yeah, we talked about that before, and I do try to do as much investigation on all of my art. And but we do have people that you know, for estates in that they want to maybe sell or give up items that their folks have had, or they choose that, you know, it's not their style. So like these photographs behind me, this is a Cass Corridor parking lot right here, 2 photographs done by a Cass Corridor artist. And so above it, we have a signed lithograph. It might be a little hard to see. So they were very expensive to begin with, and the people might not want them. And so you can get original signed artwork at half the cost here. So that's the best part of it. So it might not be a dime or $1, and it's worth $10,000, but you can still get good value.
And can I ask you too, because you have such a unique, eclectic eye, and you know how to make things kind of a showpiece and make it a talker. And so when we're talking about art, like how does someone pick it? How do you help people pick out art?
Well, art is very specific to the person. So you either have the type of person, if they know what they want, they're a collector. So they might collect metal sculptures. They might collect stone work type abstracts. So that person usually comes in, they'll call, or they'll continue to be on a list. So if items come in, I can call them. But other clients, they want something that maybe matches their interior. So you'll also have that. They might not want to spend $500 on a piece, but could get an attractive piece for a couple $100s that might transform or go along with the colors in their in one of their rooms. The other person is coming in and they might not know what they want, but they have to wait till a piece grabs them. Like for instance, this wall metal sculpture here is by a mid-century artist, Curtis Scherer, and this is titled Aquarium. So somebody might just come in and say, that's the perfect piece to put on my patio for the summer or in my kitchen. So that's a bunch of different types of people and what they look for, really.
I know, and I love, like, I'm not a mid-century person, but I know it's making this huge comeback right now. And some of these pieces are very expensive. like chairs and things of that nature. So I feel like when you go into your store, I get a little overwhelmed because I'm like, where do I look? Where do I look? Because you have so many cool pieces, but it's trying to take it and say, hey, can this work in my home? But what I like is it gives it's unique. It's a piece to talk about. It's a story behind it. And so therefore, and we're sorry because we asked April to be on her phone so she could kind of walk us through the show, because we're talking about art, and art is everything. So we appreciate you doing this for us this morning. But so with that too, it doesn't have to be big pieces. It doesn't have to be something that you hang. It can just be those little mementos that you set on a shelf, right?
Yes, staging is important, and I try to keep the, there's a lot of stuff, there's over 5,000 items here, so I try to stage the items so that people can, when they come in, the customers can see how they can use them in their own space. They can pick and choose. You can have little arrangements. Obviously, this is not a minimalistic spot here. I have to try to get everything in at once. But for instance, these little tiny birds here, these are indigenous birds to Africa. They were done by an artist. They're actually little seed flower pods, and then hand painted to look like the different birds there. So this person, consignor customer of mine, had traveled to Africa many times, and most of her items all were from artists from Africa or Black American artists. So we have a variety of cultural type of art as well, like this Asian wall hanging behind me. It's done with Mangjang tiles, and it was in, it spells out blessing. It comes with papers. It's straight from Hong Kong. And so you can also find, that would be a great gift for a wedding. So you can also find wonderful gifts, whether they're, you don't want to buy a large piece of art for your friend, but you want to find a unique piece that's not going to be anywhere, just in a local store.
I love that you mentioned gifts, because I feel like the art season in the summer is a time that you buy gifts for people, because that's where you get your very unique items that have a story behind them, but you know, it's going to mean something to the people. They're not going to take it and give it in the white elephant Christmas gift a few months from now, right? Like, it's something that is going to be a part of their life and their history, because I feel like now we're kind of a throwaway society, but if we can get these very unique pieces, they can be passed on from generation to generation. I love those birds, by the way. I'm already thinking like, oh, who can I buy those for? Like, I know, I have family members that are big bird people. That's a perfect gift.
Yes, and so budget is also something, though, I'd like to touch on. Don't be afraid to talk about your budget when you go shopping, and especially in consignment stores, where, I like to help my customers. I want each customer to have the best piece for them, and I can work with you, but as long as I know the budget, then I can try to arrange things and also give you discounts on the prices that I have to fit in your budget and get you the happiest, satisfaction of when you either place that item. I have all my customers that buy my products here, the resale items, they all send me pictures and thank me and show me how they use it in their own home.
And if I can ask you too, because I know we're about out of time, but your jewelry, because you make jewelry, and we are talking about, the big art festival that's going to be coming up, but it's not until July. But one of the things they need, artists, and so you don't only sell art, but you also make art.
Yes, I'll be having, we'll have some of my jewelry here, and I know that there's a couple other artists that have jewelry, so I'll be having all of that as well on July 22nd for the art crawl. as well as throughout the summer. We're going to have, we have a new art commission in Pontiac, and they're putting together some wonderful weekend events. So trying to get people back down to shop now that we have a few places that are opening up, and we have buildings that we can house other artists in.
That is so great. Hey, April, it's always fun having you on the show. Anything maybe I didn't ask that you want to add?
No, just getting the word out just to come on down and shop. We're building this shopping district up, and we're going to have these wonderful events this summer. So please call the shop here. If you can't make it on my normal hours, I'm more than happy to come down on different appointments and make an appointment for you and work into your schedule.
And the name of your shop and the address?
Saginaw Street Consignments, downtown Pontiac. Free parking on the street, 150 North Saginaw Street. And the phone number is 248-333-0083.
April, thank you so much. And you kind of said the magic words there too, free parking, right? Whenever you go to these downtown areas, thank you again. It's so fun having you on, and I love everything you have in your store. And again, when you go in, just be prepared to spend some time, because every time you go in, you see something new. So thank you so much, April.
Thanks, Ronnie.